Pusha T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
I don't know. What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't? That would be no Jim Jones if it wasn't for them guys.
And it's good to hear you give Mase flowers.
I didn't give him no flowers. I love the hate, because I'm going to hate him.
This moment right here, it's the exact second Jim Jones started spiraling again. And no, it wasn't random. It was surgical. When Pusha T locked eyes with that camera, he wasn't just performing. That man was channeling something deep, dark, and deliberate. It was like he reached through the screen and snatched Jim's soul in front of millions. That cold stare, that wasn't for entertainment. It was a message, a warning, a declaration that this wasn't just rap anymore. This was personal war.
Spirit of repossession. Too much enamel covers your necklace. I buy bitches, you buy them sections. You buy watches, I buy collections.
Pusha didn't spit bars. He delivered judgment. The man looked dead into the lens, like he was staring straight through Jim Jones' facade and deep into his insecurities. Each lyric hit like a spiritual eviction notice, like Push was saying, "Your time's up, bruh. I'm reclaiming the space you never earned." And just when the internet was catching his breath, boom, he hit Jim with one of the most disrespectful jabs we've seen in a minute. Said Jim's running from the spirit of repossession. Whew. That wasn't just a diss. That was a full-blown exorcism on beat. The internet exploded. Memes, reactions, think pieces, you name it. Pusha had the culture in a chokehold with just one line. But let's really talk about that line for a second, because it wasn't just clever wordplay. It was based in cold, hard truth. A whole bank literally repossessed Jim's home. That's not rap cap. That's real life receipts. And calling that personal? Nah, that's biblical. The level of shade here wasn't just about music. It was about legacy. And as if that wasn't enough salt in the wound, guess who shows up next? Mase. Yep, M-A-S-E. He pulled up to the chaos like he had front row seats in a jumbo tub of popcorn, watching Jim's public humiliation unfold like a Netflix drama. The smirk on his face said it all. It wasn't just beef anymore. It was a full-blown roast session, and Jim was the main course.
Fan, you begged us. You are a fan. You're a fan. Pause, though. Get off my...
Now, here's where things go from sad to straight up delusional. After all that smoke, all that lyrical humiliation, you'd think Jim would take the L gracefully. Maybe sit down, reevaluate, log off for a bit. But no, Jim jumps up like he's Rocky in the final round, dropping a freestyle comeback on Instagram like he's still got bars in the chamber. And who's he aiming at? Both Pusha and Mase. Like this is 2006 and he's still in his prime. But let's keep it 100. Mase and Cameron been schooling Jim for decades. This ain't new. And Jim's still showing up late to class with no homework done. Let's break this moment down properly. Push and Malice, yes, the full clips, pulled up to NPR's tiny desk and turned it into a lyrical war zone. No gimmicks, just bars, pure precision. It was the kind of rollout you'd expect from kings, not rookies. And this was all tied to their Let God Sort Them Out album. But the moment that had everyone glued to their screens, that one track, the one that wasn't just fire, it was execution.
I'm a breath of it. I will close your heaven for the hell of it. It seems to be valor amongst veterans. I'm watching your fame escape relevance. We all in a room, but here's the elephant. There's no tombstones in the desert. I know by now you get the message. Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with...
That track, Chains and Whips, featuring Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, that wasn't just a song. It was a lyrical assassination. Pusha T didn't come to play. And Kendrick, he pulled up like a ghostwriter of nightmares. The Tunny Desk performance, it wasn't some industry showcase. It felt like a hit job. And if you watch that genius lyric breakdown side by side with the performance, you already know what time it is. Push never flinched, not once. No smirk, no stumble, no second take. He delivered those bars like a hitman reading a death sentence, word for word, beat for beat. And the look in his eyes, cold, focused, deadly. It wasn't just rap, it was a hit list with Jim's name right at the top. And just when you think it's all metaphor, Pusha lets that sly grin slip like, oh yeah, this ain't just music, it's personal.
Along the 5 Pusha T records right now, his records.
Yeah.
Name them.
Pusha, Nostalgia.
Oh, you're a Pusha T fan.
You know.
I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No, his records.
But
no, can you rap to 5 Pusha?
I can't rap 5.
All right, can you rap to 5? Wait. Can you rap 5 Pusha T records? Not the records he featured on. If 5 Pusha T records came on right now, could you rap them?
You can rap 5 Pusha T records?
Could you rap 5 Pusha T records right now if they started playing?
What do you mean rap? Like the hook?
Could you sing them? You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that, but you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like, I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought, like you dig, like, where I'm from, but to be like you if you was really that dude in that rapper and things
Wayne wanted to be like Pusha. He was influenced by Pusha.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool. You a very strong Pusha T fan. Nigga, you was nowhere near top 50. You top 950.
And the bars, man, they were surgical, like scalpels, not punches. Every line had intention. Every syllable aimed at soft spots Jim didn't think the world knew about. Pusha didn't rap, he summoned. That verse, it wasn't just tough. It felt like a court summons dressed as poetry. But let's not forget, Jim walked into this battle with his chest out. No one dragged him into this war. Nobody pulled strings behind the scenes. He volunteered out of pure, blind loyalty to Drake. Like a soldier charging into enemy territory without body armor, Jim launched a lyrical war against a man who makes silence sound threatening. And that one bar, the one that still has the internet clutching their pearls, Pusha calmly says, we all in the room, but here's the elephant. You chasing a feature out of your element. Oh, he didn't just clown Jim, he exposed him. Called him out for orbiting around Drake like a satellite, begging for a moment, a verse, a cosign, anything to stay relevant. And worst of all,
T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't? What has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody wants to be like Pusha T. No, I don't remember nothing. And let's not be evil, but we don't talk about rap with that's popping the corner in a beat like. I don't know too many in this game that was leaning towards being like Pusha T. No records they play in the club with or Pusha T because they don't play outside. NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
That's wild, Jim.
NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
That's crazy. What do you? Nah, Jim's trying to get everybody mad.
Pusha T around out here.
Jim trying to get everybody mad. That's Jim. Look at him. Look at him.
That's what I'm trying. That's how I feel.
Pusha kinda had a point. Jim basically handed him the ammunition. Ever since this beef reignited, Jim's been riding for Drake like a guard dog with something to prove. He barked at Pusha non-stop, like he was auditioning to be the 6th member of OVO, and the internet noticed. It all started when Billboard dropped their top 50 greatest rappers of all time list, and Pusha T landed at number 29. Respectable, right? Not for Jim. He lost it, couldn't handle it. He went on the Breakfast Club loud as ever and said Pusha don't even belong on the list, not even in the top 50. Like, really? Like we didn't watch Pusha T walk into entire camps and lyrically wipe them clean? But Jim wasn't done. He doubled down on Rap Caviar and claimed Pusha hasn't done anything impactful for the culture. Now that's wild. This the same Pusha who dropped Daytona and had half the game shook? the same guy who dismantled Drake's PR machine in a single diss track? Jim wasn't just loud, he was wrong. And that made what came next even more painful to watch.
Was trash, we gon' let them get a do-over. They got you gas, you must think that you the new Hova. Look, 4.0, I jumped in a new Rover. Your brother still jumping in bed and you tell him move over. These two roasts don't know what to do on no raid. Oh yeah, you wish, but that's what...
See, Push is not the type to get caught in back and forth interviews. He don't need a podcast. He doesn't need a roundtable discussion. His rebuttal came in the form of a song. Simple, clean, brutal, and it did all the talking. Jim tried to clap back with a freestyle, but here's the twist that had everyone side-eyeing him hard. That freestyle wasn't new. It was recorded 2 years ago. Yeah, you read that right. Back when the Chains and Whips beat first leaked, after Clips debuted it walking the Louis Vuitton runway. Somehow, Jim got his hands on the beat and rushed out a freestyle like he was bracing for a war that hadn't even started yet. So when that tiny desk clip of Clips went viral, Jim dusted off that old freestyle from the vault, slapped on a snarky caption, and threw it on IG like it was hot out the oven. I thought we addressed this already. He gonna need a bigger desk. That one was too tiny. Petty? Absolutely. Effective? Not so much. Because by now, fans started to catch on. Jim wasn't throwing punches. He was swinging recycled jabs, hoping something would land. And Push? He was already 5 steps ahead, playing chess, while Jim was still yelling in the parking lot.
How you doing, man? Crazy, man. All right.
Go check the comments under Jim's Instagram post right now. His own fans, man, they're roasting him like it's Sunday dinner and he's the main course. One of the top comments literally read, "You got triggered and smoked so bad you re-uploaded a diss from last year." Ouch. And you can tell Jim's feeling the pressure. His IG energy? Chaotic. Nervous laughter. Weird captions. Random selfies. The man's clearly spiraling, and the internet isn't letting up. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Another fan clowned him for bragging about enamel on his chains, while Push never even said his name. And the line that really had folks howling? Jealousy turned into obsession. Give it up, man. You reaching. That's when it became clear this wasn't just about lyrical skill. Jim's credibility was unraveling in real time. And that's before Mase and Cam even stepped in. Because once they got involved, it was curtains. So picture this. Mase sitting on Cam's podcast, It Is What It Is, surrounded by Harlem energy and revenge in the air. And the moment he starts speaking, it's like decades of bottled up shade comes flooding out. He says straight up, "I was always around Cam. I didn't rock with anybody Cam didn't rock with. And I saw how much love Cam had for Jimmy, how protective he was, how loyal." But then Mase says it. Once the money hit, once Jim got a little shine, he switched up. The love turned sour. The loyalty disappeared. And it only got messier from there. Mase and Cam, they've been waiting for this moment like it was a PPV grudge match. And if you know Dipset history, you know the three of them, Mase, Cam, and Jim, go way back, like children of the corn back. But while Cam was grinding and Mase was signing with Bad Boy and blowing up overnight, Jim was lurking, waiting, watching. And when Ballin' finally gave him a moment in the spotlight, Cam and Mase were already deep in the game. Jim wanted to be them. That Lloyd Banks moment, he wanted that. He wasn't a rapper back then, just a dude hanging around the scene trying to find his footing. Mase even clowned him, saying, "He looked terrible, man. Neck big, waist out of pocket. He needed a treadmill, not a mic." That wasn't a diss. That was a drag. But it didn't stop with body shots. Jim tried to rewrite history, said he built the Dipset look, claimed he inspired Cam's iconic pink fur coat, said he was the aesthetic. Bro, what? Cam was not having that. He clapped back on the podcast like, You from the Bronx, bro. Stop telling people you Harlem. I didn't grow up with you. I barely even knew you. My grandmother lived in Harlem, and yeah, you came around, but you wasn't part of the core. You wasn't Dipset from day one. You was a fan. Then Cam dropped the nuclear bomb. He said Mase is the one who literally taught Jim how to rap. And the receipts, oh, they were ready. Old clips of Jim himself admitting, "Mase helped me learn how to rap. He was the first one who sat me down and taught me how to structure bars." That was the final blow. Like, how you gonna rewrite the story when the OGs got video evidence of you being the student? But the best part of the whole mess? Those random cuts during the podcast where Mase is just sitting there laughing, damn near choking on his popcorn. No words, just wheezing. And that laugh, it wasn't regular. That was Harlem certified revenge laughter. Jim saw the clip and he lost it. He clapped back with, "I'll slap that popcorn out of Mase's hand." Bruh, that ain't a bar. That's just frustration, boiling over, on full display. Now here comes the plot twist. Jim ain't backing down. In fact, word on the street is he's lacing up and calling in the big guns. Rumors say he's teaming up with Drake for his upcoming album, Iceman. And apparently, he's got bars loaded and aimed directly at Pusha, Mase, and Cam. One track, supposedly the one that could flip the entire script. People are whispering it might be career-altering, legacy-denting. But with Jim's recent track record, we'll believe it when we hear it. Because right now, it's starting to feel like Jim is trying to go to war with a water pistol. And Push, Mase, and Cam, they came with flamethrowers, receipts, and a whole lot of Harlem shade. This ain't just rap beef anymore. This is a full-blown war of reputations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're here for the mess. And trust me, we're just getting started.